artist, we are going to start by painting the sky in our landscape. Remember, we work from the back to the front, so the farthest thing away from us is the sky. The sky in our reference photo is a very, very, very light blue. So we're gonna use a lot of white with just a touch of blue. And we're gonna do a technique called wet on wet blending. So take your largest brush and you're going to put some white on the tip. You don't need to get anything on the metal, the ferrule part, just on the top part of your bristles. Okay, and I'm gonna take this brush and I'm gonna spread left to right. You need to work relatively quickly. Now, also important is that my brush is dry. When we paint with acrylic paint, we do not want to have a wet brush. That will make our paint translucent. Okay? And our acrylic paints need to be opaque. So I'm quickly filling white in my sky. Now, when we sketched our tree, we sketched just the large parts of our trunk and our branches. And if our paint gets into those parts, that's okay, because we're gonna paint that tree over top of our sky. So we can add that back in. So I'm gonna try to go around it, but if it goes over a little, I'm not too concerned. Okay, get that in. Now I wanna work quickly because I want to blend my colors on my canvas. Okay, and by doing this, it'll give me subtle variations in my sky, and it won't just be one flat blue color. Okay, so I filled in my white. Now I'm gonna take my brush and I'm just going to put a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of blue. Just a very, very small amount. And I'm gonna kind of tap it around into my sky. I don't wanna put it all in one spot because I wanna space it out. And then I can rinse that off really quickly. Once I rinse, I always need to dry. I pinch and pull with my paper towel. And then I'm going to quickly give a left and right brush stroke into my sky. I'm gonna rub back and forth to mix that in, soften that up. But again, we're working quickly because this is a wet on wet technique, meaning both colors have to be wet if we want them to blend. You don't need it to be one flat blue all the way across. You can have variations where it looks a little lighter and darker in areas. Okay, and that'll emulate your clouds. Okay, if anywhere looks too dark, then you can add a little white to it. Like for instance, down here, I'm gonna add just a little white to that to mute that down. Okay, so your sky is not a bright, bright blue like you might traditionally color when you're thinking of it out of your mind. This sky is almost so light that it looks white.